Hey guys, MSA545 here, and today we are playing Balkon's weapon mod. It's a mod which adds mostly medieval weapons to the game. There are some slightly more advanced weapons which aren't quite medieval, but they are close enough to medieval. And I've split them into 5 different groups: targets, melee weapons, throwing weapons, ranged weapons, and staged weapons. Although there only is one staged weapon and target. But let's move on. So, the first category is targets. Now, apart from every living creature around you, the game does come with one target, and it is the training dummy. So you can use this dummy for weapons training. It is completely indestructible, and you cannot destroy it by any means of weapons or punching, but if you right click it, it does pop back into an item which you can collect again, because obviously you couldn't move it if you couldn't destroy it, which would be quite bad if you misplaced it accidentally. The second category is melee weapons. It consists of 5 weapons: the fire rod, the iron flail, the iron battle axe, the iron halberd, and the iron warhammer. And all these 4 items here can be made out of stone, diamond, gold, iron, the standard stuff. I just choose iron because in real life they would be used as iron, I guess. So the first weapon, which is the fire rod, can only be used once, and it is just to burn your opponent, basically. The iron flail is a very effective weapon. It fires a steel ball at your opponent, which then you can repetitively smack them with. I keep on missing though. And it actually is quite effective. The iron halberd has 2 stages. There is the axe stage, or there's the spear type stage. So the axe stage we'll use first, and it is not as strong as you would hope, but it's 2 shots, which is I think the same as a stone sword, possibly, maybe an iron sword. Although if you use the second stage, which is kind of the spear stage, it is 1 shot kill. The battle axe is similar to an axe, but it is extremely strong at killing your opponents, and it's a 1 shot kill for nearly all mobs. And the warhammer is also probably the most strongest melee weapon you can use, and it's just because of its throwback. It can throw back really far. It's not a 1 shot kill, but it does have a really strong throwback, which can be very handy for creepers or skeletons. It also has a secondary stage which is kind of interesting, where you hold back the right mouse button and you almost do like a super smash. I'll show you in this pig if he would stay still, which does just an instant kill. It is pretty cool, I have to admit. The next category is throwing weapons. There are 4 weapons which are consisting in this category. There's the iron spear, the iron knife, the iron javelin, and the dynamite. Again, these 2 weapons here can be made out of any of the 4 resources. Javelin you can only get in whatever thing that is. It looks like stone, and dynamite obviously is not made out of any of them. So the spear is a simple weapon which you throw at your enemy if you can hit it. They are quite awkward to control sometimes, although if you do hit it, it will have a bounce back effect, as you saw there. I'll move pig. So it bounces off enemies, although it does stick in walls if I can hit the wall. So it does stick in walls, although it has a bounce off effect for enemies. So for any Call of Duty fans out there, you'll love this. It is the throwing knife, and again you just simply throw it at your enemy. I am terrible at aiming, I'm very sorry. And it also has a bounce back effect. The javelin is similar to the spear, except it has a slightly different method of usage where it's charged and then released, although it, like an arrow, once it hits the enemy it's gone. So I better make this one count. But it does have a pretty much instant kill for most mobs. And the dynamite, or referred to as throwable TNT, is pretty cool. What you do is you right click and you set the charge, although it will not blow up in your hand, it just lets go if you hold on for too long. But if you double right click, you throw it and it blows up. The next category is ranged weapons. There are again 5 weapons in this category. There is the blowgun, the crossbow, the blunderbuss, the musket, and the musket with bayonet. And these also have some ammo which you need to use, like a poisonous dart, crossbow bolt, blunderbuss shot, a musket round, and a musket round. Since they're the same gun, just one has a bayonet attached to it. So the ranged weapons have quite an interesting way of using them, and what you do first is you have to load them. So by right clicking, you hear click, and some of the weapons do vary in times for clicking, but then similar to a bow, when next time you right click you pull back, and when you fire you hurt them or throw your ammo at them. Now since this is a poison blow dart, it poisons the pig instead of killing him, and the poison should kill him, except it's not very strong, so you need to do it a couple of times. The next weapon is the crossbow, and again, same as the blow dart, you have to load it. And if you look now, its string is kind of pulled back like a real one would be. And again, once you've loaded, all you need to do is hold back and fire. And I missed. There we go. And again, it is pretty much an instant kill weapon. The next gun now is a blunderbuss, and it's kind of similar to a shotgun if you don't know what it is. And again, you have to load it, and you go up to your target and fire. So it's pretty powerful. So the final weapon is the musket. There are 2 stages to the musket. One is with the bayonet and one is without it. So first of all I'll show you without the bayonet. And as any range weapon, you fire, and you have to wait for the second click in the musket. Then you pull back or look down your scope, I think you're trying to do here, and fire. This is probably my favourite weapon of all. It can go for it can be ranged at a very long distance. Except I missed that one. There is sort of a bit of bullet distance fall, so you need to be ready for that, except there wasn't any there. And the musket with the bayonet is no different than the musket, except you can also stab people with it. And the final weapon of all is the staged weapon, and I wasn't sure what to call it to sort of keep it a surprise, but it's a cannon. And what you need is a cannonball and a gunpowder per shot. And how the cannon is different from the rest of them is because it is on the spot. And as any cannon, you can rotate it about, you can feed it, its cannonball, and as long as you've got gunpowder in your hand, if you press space you can fire a cannonball. And it can fire quite far if you're high-ish. If you're quite low to the ground like I am right now, it doesn't fire extremely far. Well, actually, that was quite far, but it's really inaccurate. So it's only really good for wall defenses and things like that. It's quite hard to aim on it, as I'll try and show you again. I'll try and aim for that. Well, I did hit it, but it's quite hard to aim directly on it because he just got the side of the blow there, so he's still alive. If it was direct blow, he would have probably died. So I hope you enjoyed my gun tutorial, and if you want to see more tutorials, please just subscribe, leave a like or a comment, because it takes time and effort to make these, and I do enjoy doing it. And I do have a huge list of tutorials that I want to do now that Christmas holidays are here, and night is coming, so I think I better arm myself.